Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you're with us. I'm Wes Moore. It's More Sports. Just looking over some of the notes from last night. Good win for Arkansas over LSU. Beat them by 29 points. And let's be honest, it was a 30-something point game for much at the end of the game. Things got a little bit out of a hand and got sloppy. And then they put in the other guys. And next thing you know, Arkansas wins by 29. Just a ho-hum easy win over LSU on the road, a place where it hasn't always been easy for Arkansas to get wins. They've lost several games in the PMAC that they shouldn't have lost over the years. And Arkansas, this team gets it done short-handed once again. So there are a lot of topics I want to get to tonight. You know, what happens when Carter Knox and DJ Wagner come back? How should Arkansas work those guys back in? What do you do with Isaiah Sealy when those guys return? And just the game itself. I want to talk about the game. We'll be taking some questions and comments throughout the show. You want to get involved? Here's a good night to do it. And then talk about Arkansas's back-to-back road victories over 20 points. That's history. You've never seen that happen for Arkansas in the SEC. In fact, it's the first time in one season Arkansas has had 22 20-point plus victories on the road. And Arkansas did it in back-to-back games. So it's a record doing it in back-to-back games, but it's a record just to do it twice in one season to have two 20-plus point victories on the road. So what they accomplished was good. I want to talk about that. How excited should we be getting about this team after the bye week, after focusing on defense? Is the defense getting better, or is this Mississippi State LSU? I think that's a valid question too. So I want to get into all that tonight. Like I said, we'll take your questions, your comments. Also, we're going to name the More Sports Team of the Week. It is the Bryant Hornets, number one in 6A. They're undefeated in conference after knocking off Jonesboro and Central last night. So Bryant rolling once again, looking to win another state championship. We'll hear from Coach Abrahamson a little bit later in the show. So got a very packed show, a lot to get to. Let's get this thing started. We'll thank our sponsors like we always do to get started. Gwatney Buick GMC, they sponsor all of our interviews. Gwatney Buick GMC has been doing it a long time. Easy to find, 5700 Landers Road. Now's the best time to trade at Gwatney Buick GMC. If you're right side up, or if you're upside down, they'll get you right side up. You want to be right side up. And that's what they're doing right now at Gwatney Buick GMC. Bring your tax return, all the information to Gwatney Buick GMC this month, and they'll match it up to $1,000. How about that? A little bonus cash for you right now. Some great deals. Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Elevation models, 0% financing, up to 20% below MSRP. If you prefer a Buick, you can get a 2026 Encore Preferred or 2026 Invista Preferred, as low as $199 a month. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Go to the website, GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, they are professional grade. And our ticker, which has all the great stats from last night's game, is brought to you by Centennial Bank. When I think of Centennial Bank, I think of strength. I think of consistency and commitment to building trust. For generations, Arkansans have relied on Centennial Bank for steady guidance, local decision-making, and financial solutions that stand the test of time. From personal banking to business and home loans, Centennial Bank is built on relationships that discover the strength of a bank that believes trust is earned every day. Visit my100bank.com or stop by your local Centennial Bank member, FDIC. And security is on everyone's mind these days. And when it comes to protecting what matters most to me, my family, A-Plus Alarm and Security Service is who I use. I've used them more than 20 years. They installed my alarm system, it's a camera system, and they can do it from commercial to residential. They have you covered. A-Plus Alarm delivers reliable protection you can count on. A-Plus Alarm truly is the key to peace of mind. Call that number on the screen or go to the website, aplusalarm.net. Let's get this show started.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's More Sports.
So it goes down to Baton Rouge, and I loved it from the very beginning, the get-go. No need for a slow start, right? This team finally got off to a fast start. Arkansas goes up 8-0. Trevin Brazile drives down, lays it in, basket and the foul, makes the free throw. Arkansas is up 8-0. LSU starts the game 0 for 7, and that was just a sign to come for that was to come for LSU. For the game, LSU shot 31%. It was 30.9 to be exact. In the second half, they were a woeful 10 of 36. That's 28%. Now, that's my question now. And y'all can chime in here. Is Arkansas's defense better? Coach Calipari said after the game, he knows their offense is good. He said there may be a better offense in the country, but Arkansas's got a top 10 offense in the country. And Ken Palm's offensive rankings back that up. In fact, they were number 7 after last night. Arkansas offensive efficiency is number 6 in the country. They do have one of the best offenses in the country. Arkansas is going to score. Can they stop the other team from scoring? That's been the issue. And Calipari said after the game, the defense has been bad. So they went back to some things, some of the basics and some of the things that had worked for him at Kentucky. And during that midweek bye last week, when they had all that extra time, they had practices. They had multiple practices in one day. And they were really focusing on defense and rebounding. In fact, I heard the craziest thing, it was Pringle said that, we quit blocking out and now we're just going to get the ball. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound like anything I was ever taught. And Calipari backed him up and said, look, I told him, just go get the ball. If you block out, but go get the ball. If you don't go get it, it's simple. You're not going to play. So it basically said you rebound, get the basketball, or you're coming out. And they've been rebounding better. Now, granted, LSU hammered them last night for 21 offensive rebounds, but LSU couldn't convert. 21 offensive rebounds, and they had 10 second chance points. 13 second chance points off of 21 offensive rebounds. That's terrible, but that's LSU. So, yeah, if we want to nitpick, they need to do a better job getting defensive rebounds. LSU got too many last night. But my question is, the defense better, or is this a case of playing a Mississippi State team, an LSU team that's struggling, that's not very good? I'm not sure. I do know the answer to this because I've seen it with my own eyes. They are playing better defense. They aren't gambling as much. They're not getting out of position. They're not going for some steal that's a little risky. They're just playing good basic defense the last 2 days. And part of the problem, when they were taking chances, when they were being risky on defense and they didn't get the steal, then they're out of position. Their guy drives to the basket. Someone has to rotate, stop the ball. Then their guy's wide open. And you just got all these guys running around trying to cover because you got beat to the basket because you took a chance. You gambled and it didn't pay off. And Calipari's wanting them to do less of that and just play more basic defense, better defense that just keeps the ball in front of you and not driving into the lane. And part of the problem with their offensive rebound for the other team is because Arkansas is out of position to get the rebound because they're all running around trying to get a different man rotating over because somebody got beat off of the dribble, got into the lane, and it just creates confusion and it messes everything up. So the number one thing, just stop the ball, stop ball penetration. And Arkansas has done a better job of that the last 2 games. So that's why I do say, and I do believe, the defense is better. Now, the true test is going to be Saturday against Auburn. That's a good offensive team. LSU had, in non-conference and some in conference play, been able to score some points. Mississippi State, not as much. They got Hubbard, and that's it. Arkansas did a good job on Hubbard, limiting him in the second half. He got, 10 in the first half, 6 in the second half. But they shut down Epps. That was huge against Mississippi State. Last night, with LSU and Dean Thomas out, that's their guy. And that would be almost like Arkansas being without Acuff, except for Arkansas's got some other complementary pieces that could step up if Acuff's not in the game. But LSU didn't have anything. Their next best scorer is Max McKinnon, and Arkansas knew that, and they locked down on Max McKinnon last night. He was 1 of 6, 0 for 1 from the three-point line. Max McKinnon had 2 points. Banged his head up against the basket or behind the basket. He only played 20 minutes last night. So this was a very limited LSU team. But you got to give Arkansas credit because they held them 27 first-half points, and they were on pace to do that again in the second half when they substituted and LSU went on a little 7-0 run to end the game, ended up scoring 35 second half points, 62 total points. So now think about this. Back-to-back games, they have kept their opponent from scoring over 70 points. 62 for LSU, 68 for Mississippi State. That'll win you a lot of games. I'm not saying you got to keep Auburn under 70 points. I mean, if they do, they could win this game by 20. But my point is, when you have such a good – go back, rewind to football season. Arkansas had a really good offense. If they had a mediocre defense, this football team would have won 6 games, maybe more. Mediocre defense. I mean, just an average defense. This is the same thing for basketball. This is a really good offense. You don't have to have a defense like Houston or St. John's. You don't have to have an elite defense for this team because they can score. Now, what you got to have is a defense when you're playing one of those elite defensive teams that slow you down, that you're able to slow them down and win a grinded out type basketball game. A game that's, 72-70. That's all they need on defense. Just get some stops. And then, in one possession games, that's what it's going to come down to. Can you get stops? And Arkansas, Kentucky, perfect example. Couldn't get stops down the stretch. Kentucky was scoring every single possession. Arkansas would score, then Kentucky would score. Then Arkansas, and they were just trading baskets. Well, that's not going to do you any good when you're down 5 or 7 points. You got to get stops. They couldn't get stops against Kentucky. So that's why I feel like this defense has gotten a little better, has taken a step in the right direction. And if they can do this the rest of the way out, and it's a tough schedule, there's a chance that all 7 teams, or 6 teams in Missouri twice, all 7 games are against tournament teams. I know Texas is kind of on the bubble. Missouri's on the bubble. But if they get in, you're looking at down the stretch, Arkansas playing all these games against tournament teams. And let me tell you this too. These are going to be huge games for Texas, Missouri, well, even Auburn, A&M. Arkansas's net ranking is getting better and better. So when you get a win, especially a road win, that's a quad 1 victory. That's going to help your net ranking. That's going to help your seeding. So these teams that are coming into Bud Walton Arena are going to be gunning for Arkansas. And when Arkansas goes on the road, plays Florida, plays Alabama, plays Missouri, these are good wins for those teams too. Even Florida's trying to work their way into a 2 seed. That's a little notch in their belt by beating Arkansas. So with Arkansas's net ranking, and now we're getting down to that part of the season where the net rankings are so important, these games are going to be important to their opponents. These last 7 games are going to be good. Coach Calipari said, look, the teams that we're playing, we could lose all 7 of them. I'm not thinking that, but I'm thinking it could be 7 really good games. Teams are going to be battling during these games. So your thoughts? Blowout loss over LSU. That was fun. It was so fun. They're playing rock, paper, scissors to decide who's going to shoot technical foul free throws. Never seen that before. That was awesome. Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff playing rock, paper, scissors. I guess they were going best 2 out of 3 to decide. And then it was a happy locker room. They get to celebrate with Coach Calipari, eat some birthday cake, and have a good road trip or a good trip back home to Fayetteville after that big win. All right, let's do this. If you got some questions, you got some comments, you can hit me up in the chat room. We will address those when we come back in just a few minutes. We are going to now hear from the More Sports Team of the Week. I've already told you it was the Bryant Hornets. I got to catch up with head coach Mike Abrahamson earlier this morning. Let's play that interview for you now. Let's talk a little high school basketball now. We have the Bryant Hornets, the More Sports Team of the Week. Their head coach, Mike Abrahamson, joins us today. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. And that was a good week. That was a good week for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Wes. Thanks for having us on. It's, with that snowstorm, we didn't play for 2 weeks. And so then we first came back is go on the road to Jonesboro. Tough place to play with a tough team. And so I was proud of our guys. We did well, got better as the game went on, and then followed that up last night playing Central, who their record is no indication of how good they are. and how talented they are.
Were you
So we were
pulling
able
your
to
hair out during the snowstorm, just frustrated, and knowing your first game back is Jonesboro?
I mean, you can't do anything about it, and everyone's in the same boat. So a little, just because you don't want to get out of shape, and you don't, there's a lot of negatives to that much time off. A little time off can be okay. That much time off, you really have to work to get back to where you were. And I don't know that we're there yet. I thought last night we still looked sluggish. But it is what it is, and everybody had to go through it. So there's nothing you can do.
What do you
Except
like about this team?
What do I like about this team?
Yeah.
Well, one, it starts with CB, Kamari Embiid, and RJ Young. I mean, those two guys have been through so many battles and have so much experience, and we have an advantage simply because we have them. So I've loved every minute of coaching those guys, and this is my last year with them. Sorry, I got a bug in here. So that's number one, what I like about them. And then we've got pieces around them that can do things to supplement what CB and RJ do. We've got some guys that can shoot the ball. We've got a couple of guys with good size. We've got some guys with good athleticism, and we had a little bit of depth. We're not as deep as we were earlier this year or last year, but we got enough. So I really like our team, and I don't think we've played our best yet. So that's kind of exciting too.
It's kind of scary for other teams out there. How did you wipe the slate clean from last year and start over this year?
Well, you said it right there in the question. It was last year. So we can certainly draw on that experience for those that were here. And for the new ones that we have, we can a little bit easier relay that our system works. But it was last year. And so it's a new year. And you have to. I think everyone knows that it's easier said than done, for sure. But you can't live off last year. You can only draw on that experience.
You said earlier that you feel like your team hasn't played its best basketball. What is it that you're working on to get them to play their best basketball?
Well, we've got two football players that, with our football program, they play until December. And so we got them in about mid-December, and then you just have so many games. You don't have a lot of practices in December. And then you have Christmas, and then you have New Year, and then we had a snowstorm. And so they're really still getting caught up. And we have a transfer in Katie Hicks that came over to us, and in the summer he had a shoulder surgery, and then he came back. He missed the first 3 games. He missed all preseason, the first 3 games of the year. And then in December, he hurt his ankle and missed another 2 weeks. And then we had the snowstorm. So it's like we could never get him in shape. It's like he's still playing catch up as well. We had another injury with Terrence Cochran. He tore his ACL. He was playing great for us. And so he's out for the year. And so now we're still, it's the next man up theory. And so I just don't think we played our best basketball yet. And it comes down to some individual guys. Some of it's different things. It's understanding our system. Some of it's just getting in shape. But I just don't think that we've played our best basketball yet. And so it's encouraging, but we're about there where we need to start doing it.
What do you think about 6A this season?
Tough as always. Talent, great coaching, tough environments to go play in. I mean, it never ends. Teams lose players and they reload with new players, and it's tough every year. The coaches are really good. It's just always going to be tough. always.
Making up these snow games, do you think that will help you guys maybe start to peak and be where you want them to be, playing more games?
I hope so. You never really know. I mean, you play so many games in December, the schedule's crazy. Um, it's hard when you don't practice regularly. But then it's also hard when you don't play games. You got to have a good mix. And so with our makeup schedule, we really are only going to have 1 week where we have 3 games. And so we do that a lot in December. And so, you know, I don't I don't think that will be, too much of an adjustment for the guys. And it's 2 weeks before the state tournament starts. So I hope it helps. We're certainly gonna take that attitude that this is the hand that we're dealt, and this is what we have to do.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a week last week and a good win over Central. We appreciate your time and keep it going. And we'll be catching up with you in March, I'm sure. Thanks a lot.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you, Wes. Thanks for having me on.
It's pretty strange how good the deals are at Gwatney Buick GMC, and tax time is the best time to trade, even if you're in the upside down. Get GMC Sierra with more power than a Demogorgon at 0%, Buick Encore or Invista at just $199. Plus, we're matching your tax return up to $1,000. No alternate dimension required. We're pulling you out of the upside down with supernatural deals this month at Gwatney Buick GMC, next to Sam's in North Little Rock.
Strength isn't built by chance. It's built step by step, choice by choice. At Centennial Bank, we believe it's the everyday actions, done with care, done consistently, that lay the foundation for something greater. That's how we build trust. That's how we build strength. Let us help you create a strong financial game plan. When we work together, we win together. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
And I was watching and keeping an eye on some of the scores from the SEC this evening, and already you got a couple of road victories. And here's a crazy stat for you. You think with Auburn coming, it's Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas should be able to take care of business. They got that chip on their shoulder after Auburn beat them down in the plains, in the jungle. This is going to blow your mind. Let me get the stat for you. This is the record for SEC home teams this season. I've been keeping up with it every single game. Coming into this weekend, SEC teams at home had a record of 45 and 36. 45 and 36. That is 81 games have been played in the SEC. Well, that was before last night and tonight. 45 and 36. Well, both road teams, including Arkansas, won last night. 45 and 38. Well, your first 2 games tonight in the SEC, Florida went to Georgia, beat them by 20. Alabama went to Ole Miss and beat them by 19. So that's 2 more road victories. Right now in the SEC, after 85 games, home teams are 45 and 40. They're just 5 games over 500. We talk about all the time in the media how tough it is to win on the road in the SEC. It's not. It's not this year. This is one of those years, and all I can think is there is such a divide in the SEC. The top teams are able to go on the road and win, especially when they're playing some of those bottom-tier teams. In years past, maybe it was a little bit more even. I think what you have in the SEC, you have 4 or 5 good teams. I don't know if there's a great SEC team. Florida could be great if they had better guard play. Their front court is really good. They've got 3 big dudes. Jimmy Lou's just tough. That dude, I wish Arkansas had a Jimmy Lou. That guy can just go get rebounds, offensive, defense, presence in the paint, block shots. But their backcourt has been struggling, and they haven't been able to hit threes. That's going to be their deficiency. That's going to be their weakness. When you get in the NCAA tournament, they talk about guard play being so important. Florida's guard play's got to improve. I think Arkansas could be great, but we discussed it earlier. What's holding Arkansas back? Defense. Got to play better defense. and better rebounding. They got to be able to hit the glass, not give up so many offensive rebounds and second chance points. A&M, I don't know if they can be great. Tennessee, I tell you what, with Nate Ament coming on for Tennessee, that freshman the last 2 weeks, well, he's been the SEC Freshman of the Week for back-to-back weeks. He is giving Tennessee a big lift. So I think Tennessee's got a chance with the further development of Nate Ament, a guy that they can depend on to score. They have a chance to have a great team and make a run in the NCAA tournament. Vanderbilt, not sold on Texas A&M. I do like their style of play. I think they're fun to watch. Buckyball is fun to watch. They get after you, and they can rattle some teams and create some turnovers and some easy points. But back to my original point, it isn't impossible to win on the road. Heck, Arkansas now with three straight SEC road victories. They're now 4-2 in the SEC on the road. One more, and you're guaranteed a winning road record in the SEC for Arkansas. Now, it's going to be tough because you got to go to Alabama, although Bediako is gone. That makes them a little less intimidating, and they're not as good as they were, obviously, or they wouldn't have gone out and bent all the rules and went to court and did everything they could to get Bediako eligible to play. Now they don't have him, so they're not as good, but still, Alabama's tough to beat at home. Florida, we know that's going to be a monster. You go down to Florida and win, that is huge for Arkansas. May give you a chance to win the SEC title if you go down to Florida and win that game. And Missouri. Missouri is one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams, and mainly it's because they play really well at home. They're not so good on the road, although they did just get a nice road victory at, was it South Carolina? They got a big blowout win. But I think Missouri has, they're playing right now, playing Texas A&M. I think I'll go watch that game, in fact. I mean, that's Arkansas, 7 games left. Those are 3 of them right there, Missouri and Texas A&M. That's a good idea. Let's finish this thing up and go watch some basketball. Let me check and see the chat room if you had any questions, comments. Here's one. Let's go with Cecil. Cecil says, Jordan Smith to the Hogs on Friday. Cecil, love the optimism. And yes, some of the recruiting guys are predicting that Jordan Smith, number 2 ranked player in the country, according to one service, number 3, according to, I think it was ESPN. So that would be a huge get for Arkansas. That could be your replacement for Darius Acuff. He is a combo guard. You throw him in with Abdu Toure. This guy's gone now a 5-star, according to one of the services. They bumped him up. He's had a great year. And then J.J. Andrews. You talk about 3 guys right there, 3 top 20 type guys. And heck, you could say 3 top 15 players in the country with those. That's a good haul and a great place to start next year. You get those 3, maybe 3 guys to stick around off of this year's team and go out in the portal and get some dudes. That's one thing I hope he gets. He gets some dudes like a Chimulu, like I was talking about, or the big guy at Georgia. What's it, Cyrus? That guy. Get some dudes like that and complete the roster. And then you're in business for next year. But that's next year. But, yeah, Cecil, I'm excited to Jordan Smith said he's going to announce right before they play his high school team plays on Friday. So that'll be some news for us on Friday. That'd be a good get. Try to see if we can't get Jordan Smith on the show. Speaking of, tomorrow night, I think we have a very cool guest. I think it's lined up. Devo Davis is going to join us. Just went to his first Razorback game since leaving. Had a blast. I think it was Kentucky. I think he enjoyed it for a while. Didn't enjoy the finish. But wanted to catch up with Devo, see what he thought about this year's team and some of the players, because I know he's been watching and he's been rooting for the Razorbacks if you follow him on social media. So I thought it would be good to catch back up with Devo Davis. He used to come on the Buzz with us on the Zone for a couple of years and loved having him on the radio, and haven't talked to him in a while, haven't caught up with him, and I wanted to catch up with him. So I hope hope it all works out. We get Devo on tomorrow night, and I hope you'll watch that show and enjoy it. Speaking of, hope you enjoyed this show. Give me the hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber on YouTube, please subscribe while you're there. Or if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, go on over to YouTube, do a search for More Sports, and subscribe to More Sports. And while you're there, check out some of the other interviews. Ryan Silverfield video has been doing really well. I've got to sit down with him last Friday in Hot Springs at the Arkansas High School Football Coaches Clinic and cut it up into 2 different parts. And so you got 2 parts over there on Ryan Silverfield discussing, what he's trying to build at the University of Arkansas. Talked a little bit about his new GM and how he played a role in the signing class. So that was some good information. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check it out on More Sports over on YouTube. That's going to do it for tonight. Let's go watch some basketball. Tennessee's got a small lead on Mississippi State. Could be another road team winning. And Missouri A&M. A&M just took a 16-13 lead. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. Go watch a little SEC basketball. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Hope you can join us for More Sports.
All Arkansas, all sports.